So today we're going to look at the newest iteration of the Xotic wah line, the XW2. And this is in the Custom Shop candy apple red finish. It's gorgeous. And the XW1, which you can see down there on my large pedal board, is my all-time favorite wah. It's got a reduced footprint, but it's not so small like a lot of the micro and mini wahs out there that you can't even use it with your foot because you can't get, you know, your heel and your toe on the treadle. But I find that this is the perfect size that also doesn't take up a ginormous part of my pedal board. And the XW1 came out like over a decade ago, which is pretty wild because in my mind, it's kind of the wah pedal. But as much as I love the options and variability of the controls on the side of the XW1, not having that kind of removes another element of, you know, potential option paralysis. I think wah is one of those effects that can be easily overused in a pretty cheesy way. And, you know, if you're playing a gig and, you know, by the third solo, if you use a wah on every solo, it starts to get old, gets a little repetitive. So I want to explore some other ways that you might be able to incorporate wah into your playing and specifically soloing without it being, you know, beating a dead horse to say. All right, so for today's rig, I've got this 1987 Anniversary Studio Elite from James Tyler. Shout out to Rich for the loaner while I'm getting mine worked on. And I'm plugging straight into the XW2 wah, into a vintage Maxon SD9, straight into the front end of the Eddie Wong Polaris, and then the Axe-Fx 3 is doing some wet effects that are post-speaker. Here's the clean tone on the neck pickup. Let's listen to the sweep and the clean tone of the wah. So you might be able to see I've got my XW1 down there on my big board. It's my favorite wah pedal. And they even say in some of the marketing for this pedal, it's got minimal control but maximum tone. It's based on the holy grail of wahs, which is the 67 stroke 68 Italian-made Clyde McCoy wahs. It does have an internal cue that you can change, but this is stock. And I really like using wah in various ways outside of doing the Jimmy thing, which this one does really well. But let's listen to some cleaner sounds using the wah in a little more creative ways. So I've got all three pickups on in series in that classic funk tone. There's also some fun things you can do with kind of leaving the treadle on the wall, set in place with a higher gain sound. So we're going to go straight to the bridge pickup. Xotic Effects may have some of the best staying power on the market when it comes to a manufacturer of boutique guitar effects pedals. Everything they make is bulletproof. Everything they've made, I believe, they basically still make. And they tend to not really let things get released out into the world without being tested by real-world musicians to make sure that it's going to be something that you actually love. And using the wah as like a dynamic enhancer with bending the strings is a really fun way to incorporate the wah into your soloing. There's some clever engineering involved with the Xotic wah pedals, being able to adjust the treadle in a safe manner, and I have not really heard of the pots wearing out or the teeth wearing out on these the way I have experienced with other wah pedals. And of course, you always have the option to go full dad blues with it. I think wah can be extremely expressive and something that you can use a little more often than it might sound like. And I think that's the important thing, is you don't want to go extreme every time you step on the wah pedal, unless that's your thing, and by all means, go for it. But you don't have to do that when you use a wah pedal. Hopefully this inspired you to plug in your wah that may have not been plugged up in a while, or to go out and try one of these beautiful Xotic XW2 wah pedals. I know that there's very limited stock of this Candy Apple Red custom shop, and I want to give a special shout out to Angel City Guitars and Johnny over at Xotic. At the Xotic Roadshow, I actually was in a drawing and won this pedal, so definitely check out the Xotic Roadshow. You might just win a wah pedal, and check out Angel City Guitars, where you might just win a wah pedal. I'm going to challenge myself to incorporate this wah pedal in my upcoming tracking sessions later this week after shooting this video as an expressive dynamic enhancer. Help me play simpler and kind of lean on the notes that I'm choosing, and let those notes maybe have more emotional weight to them, using a slow sweep on the wah. Or maybe I'll just play Voodoo Child about 100 times. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe, recommend this channel. It really does help. I'm not able to put multiple videos out a week. I'm still working and spending most of my days tracking here in the studio. And so to be able to kind of stop everything and record a video does take a little bit of time for me. But I appreciate everybody who's reached out and interacted in the community on this channel. Let me know what kind of effects you'd like to explore next. And until next time, I've been Colin.